The market analysis video. Hope you guys had a good trading day today. I had a decent day. I started my day with a big loss. I was carrying some shorts yesterday and the market opened gap up, and I don't believe in holding losing positions, so I exited right at cost. But luckily I worked my way through it and I ended in green. And just a reminder before that, kindly do follow me on Instagram too, because I keep uploading my daily PNL, weekly PNL, monthly PNLs there, so you can keep in track with how I've been performing in the markets. Anyway, coming to the main topic, coming to market analysis, considering tomorrow's expiry and a very big event awaits us tonight. It's the US CPI inflation data. So that could propel markets in a one-sided move, considering its expiry, and premiums could explode out of proportion and even turn to zero. We have to exercise some caution. So let's look at what the markets could play out and be like. Let's begin with US futures as always. As we discussed yesterday, after this fall that we are noticing, the markets failed to close over the golden crossover zone above the 0.618 levels, and until that happens we cannot be bullish in markets. However, it's just correcting time wise right now, because after such a solid drastic move of 500 points, a correction of around 100 points to even up to 150 200 points is fine. It is mandatory to go further upwards. So we will have a clear picture after the data is out today. In any case, we have a 500 point gap on either side. If the data is not in favor of the bulls, then the market could drop down to 33,000 levels, and if it does come in the favor of bulls, then we could see 34,000 and above. So that will definitely lead to a one-sided move. And how we can capitalize it in our markets is, before that, let's look at dollar too. We saw dollar has been trading in this diverging channel, downtrending though, but diverging, and it has respected this channel on certain occasions. On 24th of March, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So 4 times the resistance has been tested, and so has the support. So I think if at all the data comes in favor of the bulls today, the dollar will definitely crash, and any closing of dollar below 101 levels will definitely show us an all-time high in global markets as well as in our markets, especially in our markets, because we have been underperforming. So anyway, that's global. To begin with, let's start with Nifty on a daily. As we discussed yesterday, this was an indecisive candle, so a closing on either side would lead to a unidirectional trade. But since that hasn't happened, this also would be considered as an inside candle for the context. And again, I always keep telling this to people, do not always look at the textbook patterns of how an inside candle should look or how a chart pattern should look. Understand the logic behind it. The logic remains that if at all the low of the candle that is comprising of the new candle is taken out, then we do take a trade in the short direction, and if the high is taken out, we take our trade in the long direction. That's all that means, and it doesn't necessarily need to look a certain way. So we still have yet to decide, and clearly, with considering that there's going to be a strong gap up or a gap down, either side the market opens, we are going to trade in that direction. But to filter that out on a smaller time frame, let's jump into the hourly time frame first. We had marked this parallel uprising channel, and this was a strong resistance, right? On Tuesday, the markets had fallen from here, almost from 18,300, we fell down all the way to 18. That's more than 100 points. That's about 100 points we had fallen. So, and now we are testing those highs again. So unless this is a double top and market opens strongly gap down, right? Actually, considering we'll be trading on an intraday time frame, let's look at 15 minutes. However, please do draw that parallel channel in an hourly time frame. That will really help. If you look at the 15-minute time frame in Nifty, it's rather simple to plan out our trade and have a logical trade set up for tomorrow. You see this channel, right? On a 15-minute time frame, this channel has been created on around the 8th of May, that was Monday. And until today, until the last 15-minute candle actually closed above it, I consider this a breakout, because even our volumetric closing is above it. And I choose to believe that this is something that looks like a flag and pole breakout, because if you look at this could be the flag and that is the pole. I mean, this could be the pole and the highlighted version is the flag. And as a technical analyst, if you believe in targets that are given by chart patterns, so roughly this pattern does give us almost around 150 points up move over here, but that only happens if the price okay, now the three scenarios that we have to discuss is if the price opens flat, considering it's a non-event, which is highly unlikely, the probability is bleak to none, but if it remains to be a non-event, then in that sense we have to hold until a 15-minute candle starts breaking these levels, which is the high of Tuesday around 18,344. As far as you don't see a 15-minute candle closing above 18,344 in case of a flat opening, we have nothing to trade. We are just going to wait it out. And clearly the zone between 18,344 to 18,250 is a non-trading zone. It's very noisy. You will just end up losing premium. And considering its expiry, it could turn to ruin because premiums would turn to zero tomorrow. So between 250 and 340, this 90-point range is not tradable, especially as an option buyer on an expiry day. So avoid trading in this zone. However, if okay, now in any case we open slightly gap up that's above 18,344, we are quickly gonna take the first morning long trade as soon as the market opens, and our first target would be 450. That's 110 points from now, and the next target would be the psychological levels of 18,500 to 520. So we have an upside of around 150 points on the upside. And in any case, 18,200 is broken, right? It's been a strong support. There's a lot of puts written at that. So there will be a lot of unwinding in puts, and we could definitely see a strong down move as well. So if you're conservative as a trader, below 18,150, you have a clear shot for the first target of 18,000, followed by around 17,950 and then 17,900. So, and in any case, we do strongly open gap up markets turn into the bull's favor. We open strongly gap up around 18,450. 18,460, like 80 to 100 points gap up from now. I would recommend not to trade in FOMO. Do not hold any longs because you've lost 100 points. Just accept the fact that you've lost 100 points overnight and there's going to be another expiry next week. So if you open around 18,450 and you see signs of rejection, you could short the market. However, the market is broadly bullish. So you could play the gap fill trade and you could book profit around 18,340, but with your day high as stop loss. And if you are proven wrong, if you are stopped out, then you definitely got to turn your position into holding longs until a target of 18,500. So that should be the trade plan in Nifty. Coming to Banknifty, let's begin with daily. Banknifty has shown great signs of strength. You have seen incredible amount of buying from the bottom because around 42,800 and we are closing around 43,300. That's 500 points of buying from the bottom. This is an extremely bullish sign. Could also be that a lot of shorts have covered their positions considering there's an event, but I rather would like to consider this as a long build up as the market's being bullish. Now that's a bias, and probably also because I'm holding longs for tomorrow. I'm at the money long, but I am holding the next week expiry because in any case my analysis does not play out and we open flat or end up closing flat. It gives me time. It helps me with time value and I will be in a better peace of mind to deal with my position. So I would recommend that for you as well if you're trading tomorrow. However, the quantity will be less, but I would rather recommend that trade the next week expiry because it could be tricky tomorrow. So on a daily, yes, clearly we are bullish in Banknifty. And as far as now markets don't come below 43,000, for that matter 42,800 on a daily, I do not see any overnight selling positions. I would not be interested in shorting the market positionally until we start closing below 42,800 on a daily. On an hourly, Banknifty is in this converging triangular pattern and we have reached the upper end of it. So clearly there's going to be a move. Either side it breaks, we are going to trade it. And how we trade that to final levels is we shift the chart to 15 minutes. And as discussed, it's still... Now if you look at this, right, if I show you how I have looked at this market, we consider this strong parallel channel in which the market has been trading since forever. And this now looks like... One second. Yeah. So this could be a double bottom on a very important support, dynamic support. So in any case, this neckline is broken, right? 43,500, that's also a psychological level where a lot of calls would be written definitely. We will see massive amounts of short covering and that could lead to a very strong bullish expiry tomorrow. But that's not decided yet. We have to wait for wherever the market opens tomorrow. So the three scenarios being, if at all we open flat, highly unlikely, but if we do, and we tend to face some rejection from today's high. That's around 43, 370, 380. I would not be shorting the markets. I would wait. I would give the market some time to consolidate, to accumulate, and then show me what kind of price action there is. I will only be interested in shorting the market intraday or otherwise, as only when we close below 43,000. So we are 300 points away from that. Now panic selling could drive into the markets if markets open gap down directly below 43,000. I'm sure a majority of the proportion is holding longs. So if at all we open directly below 43,000, we are gonna quickly enter a short trade intraday levels. And our first target would be 42,828, and our next target would be the low that the markets made on Friday. That's 42,665. That's on the short side. However, my bias remains bullish. I'm not interested in shorting the market, but if the levels do persist, if we get the short signal, we have to responsibly trade it as a trader. And now for the gap up opening, in any case, the most ideal situation would be, it would be a breakaway gap. If we open directly above 43,500, and even if we sustain for the first 5 minutes, or for that matter even a 3-minute candle sustains above 43,500, that would be considered as a breakaway gap. With the low of that candle, as of the first candle, you could enter long trades. But there's one more way, right? Because how it could look like is, now this has been a channel that's been respected, so we could, if we open not that strongly gap up, how it could look like is, if we open somewhere here, the markets could show some rejection and retest this zone, and then eventually break out. So whenever these zones are broken the second time, 43,500 is taken out, that is where we build our longs. And if you open directly above 43,500 and start moving and sustain above 43,500, I'm considering I'm holding longs. But if I was trading intraday, I would build my position above 43,500 for the first target of this gap fill, which is 43,620, followed by 43,720, and eventually then it's gonna be the upper end of the channel where we decide whether we break out or we consolidate and distribute and come back down. So in any case, you see a very strong gap up. Don't try to chase it in FOMO. Just stay out of the market. Accept the fact that those points are gone and there are going to be 1,000 more expiries and we will capitalize them later. But don't try to chase a big gap up. It could be tricky. It could come down to fill the gap, and you could have a bad expiry that way. So having said that, I hope you guys have a good expiry tomorrow, and I wish you all the best. Protect your capital, because it's the most important part of the game. It's not how much you make, it's how much you save. And kindly do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends who would be in need of an analysis to trade the expiry. And do follow me on Instagram to keep up to date with my daily PNLs. And that's all from my side now. I will see you guys tomorrow. I wish you guys the best expiry and do well.